My name is Rick Parrish, and I'm an addict and alcoholic.
Hey.
Hey. And I'm also the president and founder of Sober Escorts Incorporated. We've been in business almost 10 years now. We do a few things. We do sober escort work, sober companion work, and sober coaching work. And my definitions are: a sober escort is point A to point B, a sober companion is 24/7, and a sober coach is anything less than 24/7. Initially, when I started this company 10 years ago, I got the idea. I had a couple of friends that went to treatment. They went because they wanted to go. They did well while they were there. One of them relapsed on the flight home. The other one relapsed within the first 3 days, and I understood the mentality. And I thought if they'd have had someone with them for their first few days that was grounded in recovery, that they would have stood a much better chance. So initially, my only idea was to meet clients at discharge, whatever facility they were at, fly home with them, get them to their first meeting that same day, help them clean out their home, their office, their car, help them start implementing whatever discharge plan they left treatment with, and spend a few days or a week or so with them, getting them plugged into recovery in their own area. Now, from there, it evolved. I don't know whether it was quickly or not, but we started doing a few other things in that we get a lot of clients to treatment. We work with admissions personnel, we work with private practice therapists, we work with attorneys, we work with anybody and everybody concerned with getting a client to treatment. We work with a lot of interventionists. So we get a lot of clients to treatment. We get a lot of clients door to door. Detox to primary to extended care, to sober living. We do a lot of interim work. Anything that happens while a client's in treatment. If there's a death in the family, a court date that can't be postponed, a wedding, graduation, bar mitzvah, whatever. Anything that the clinical staff would deem important enough for the client to leave treatment for a day or 2 or 3, we'll go with them, get them through it, and get them back to treatment safe and sound. The thing about Sober Escorts is, the best thing about us is the people that I've got. I've actually got 50, I think today it's 56 men and women across the U.S. that work for me when I need them to. I don't keep them all busy at once, but they're there for me when I need them. I do have a core group of about 12 people, men and women, that I keep very busy. And I love what I do. But these guys, they came to, in the 10 years I've been doing this, I've literally had 7,000 people call me, write me, email me, want to work for me. Now, at least half of them didn't meet the qualifications I was looking for. I've had people with 2 months clean and sober call me and want to be a sober companion, and also, then a good percentage of the people that did meet the qualifications I was looking for had read some article on Lindsay Lohan or Owen Wilson or Robert Downey, and they thought they would come to work for me and make $1,500 a day and live the lifestyle of rich and famous. They were in it for the wrong reasons, so they didn't make the cut either. The people that I do have, they're fantastic. Their average length of sobriety is 12 years. They're well-traveled, well-read, comfortable in many different situations. They're kind of chameleons, can fit in just about anywhere. But I've also got, if a certain job calls for a certain type of person, I've got the 6'6" Mexican mafia guy, that's all tatted up, that can definitely throw the intimidation factor in there if needed. I've also got the guy that used to make $1 million, $1.5 million bucks a year, that works for me now. I've got, if a client needs a mother type of figure, got it. If a client needs a hard ass, or got it. That type of thing. And a lot of times when we're supplying a sober companion to a client coming out of treatment, the therapist will be involved, the people involved in the aftercare, and they might get 2 or 3 people that they can interview. If anybody that fits the bill of what they're looking for, they'll do an interview with them and pick the one that they might think is the best suited for the job. One of the things, I'm very passionate about what I do, and a lot of you that know me will know that, but and we carry professional liability insurance, bond, all that kind of stuff. When I started the company, I wanted a company that was very professional yet with a very personal feel. But also, I look for like-minded people to work with me and work for me. I always, my kind of philosophy is I want to treat everybody fairly. I want to treat my clients fairly, my people fairly, and myself fairly. If anybody gets left out of that equation, it's me, you know, but it always comes back to me. You know, there are a few other outfits out there in the industry that do what we do. And there are a couple that we play well in the sandbox together and refer clients back and forth and that kind of thing occasionally. It's kind of tough for me to do sometimes because as far as I know, I'm the most economical outfit in the industry that does this type of work. You know, we'll get a client from New York to California for $850 plus the expenses. You know, and as far as expenses go, we do everything as economically and expeditiously for the client or the client's family as possible. If my people want a cup of Starbucks coffee, they buy their own friggin' Starbucks coffee. You know, they're getting paid a decent wage, and so you know that's just the way I feel. We don't nickel and dime our clients. You know, I just won't have it. What else should I say? Oh, and as far as my people, and myself included, will go the extra mile. You know, whatever the job calls for, if it's in the best interest of the client, we're gonna do it. You know, we've torn down apartments, we've put stuff in storage, we've transported vehicles halfway across the country, we've arranged boarding for pets. You know, hell, I babysat a parrot personally for 60 days to get a client to go to treatment. You know, that's what we do. You know, it's nothing's going to happen until we get the clients to you guys, you know, and then the healing can start, you know, and as far as getting a client to treatment, you know, myself included, there's an inherent fear in going to treatment. I don't care if somebody's been there a half a dozen times or more. There's an inherent fear in going to treatment. That's one of the things we do the best is we ally those fears, you know, and try to impress, we develop a bond with the client and try to impress upon them that this is probably the best decision they've ever made in their lives. You know, we try to get them a little ready to walk into your facility and kind of hit the ground running, you know. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm sure I've forgotten something, but I'll open it up for questions. Thanks. Yes?
This is more of a comment. You wrote me out a couple years ago. I haven't met you since then. There was a musician, Sean. I was the interventionist, Sean.
Dan, yeah.
Very complicated case.
Right.
Sean, who works for Rick, came on a moment's notice, came up to New York, picked up this musician. He was on his way to treatment, but in order to get to treatment, he had to perform 3 concerts in Colorado over a 3-day period to take the proceeds to pay for treatment. So Rick provided, so for Escort, I met with him. Everything worked out without a hitch, and the musician's now 2 years sober. I ran into your wife a couple weeks ago.
Cool. You Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rizzo says hi. And that's one of the things also. You know, you get a client that's ready to go to treatment or has agreed to go to treatment or something, you want to strike while the iron's hot, you know. So we do lots of things on the spur of the moment. I mean, on the very spur of the moment. We get lots of calls, can you do this now? And with 50-some people across the U.S., I've usually got somebody, more often than not, that can be to a client within a couple hours and get the ball rolling. And we do everything. You know, we'll make all the flight arrangements, all the car rental, coordinate with the admitting treatment center, a hospital if they're coming out of it. There's a lot of logistics that can go into getting somebody from point A to point B, you know, and we'll handle every bit of it and take it off the treatment center and take it off the family and that kind of thing. Dave?
Hey, Rick. I like your shirt a lot.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that very much.
One of the things I'd like to say about Rick, I've known Rick for over 10 years. I remember having some conversation before you started. And, you know, Rick is a successful entrepreneur in this industry. He found a niche and it needed to be filled, and he's been very, very successful. I've also had that experience myself, and there's a few of us around that have managed to find an area within this industry. And for many people that work in treatment, a lot of times, for me, my job started because I just wanted to get out of the treatment field. I kind of had it, and I started my business. Rick also started one, and it's turned into an extremely successful business. And I've watched you grow and watched you over the years. And for anybody that needs his services, I would highly recommend Rick for his integrity and the hard work he's done as an entrepreneur in this industry.
Thank you, Dave. Hallie?
You can take me out to dinner.
Rick, you talked a lot about like chemical dependency. Can you talk about, eating disorders or sex addiction or something that's not, like, if
Yeah, we
if
do.
something-
We do also. Thanks, Hallie. And we've done some work with. I've got clients that are in recovery from eating disorders, from sex and love addiction, from process addictions. And again, if that's what is needed and what's called for the certain situation, that's who we'll put on the job. Thank you very much. Yes.
Rick, your sheet mentions age 17 up. So is there a line that you draw based on state?
No, not really. I mean, we've done adolescents and adolescent transports, and we've gotten a lot of calls that are, can you kidnap our kid at 3 o'clock in the morning, that kind of thing. We won't do that. I'll go in and talk. We'll do adolescents, but on a case by case by, yeah, right. I'll go in and talk to them. I mean, it's very emotional for me or my people and the family and the kid and everything else. I just won't do the 3 a.m. snatch and grab. There are other people out there that'll do that. And I'm not a very good marketer. I didn't bring any my brochures. I left them at home, but I do have some business cards. And my cell phone is there on my sheet, the 0201. Plug that into your phones. I mean, I answer it 24/7. If you have an emergency at 1 o'clock in the morning, the phone will get answered, and we'll put somebody on it. Lee?
I've called you in emergency situations where we've had a client and they don't speak English. And you have, somehow they ended up at our facility, somebody told us they spoke English at parents or something. And so now they're here and they don't want to leave. So you have been amazing. We got 3 translators with 3 different languages from you guys at 3 different times. And thank you.
You're very welcome. We're all in this together, man. It's, like I say, it's whatever's needed to get them the help. We're up for it. If it's in the best interest of the client, we'll help.
I had 2 of these guys in a hotel treating a guy in Virginia for over a year, and they stayed right at the hotel with the therapist and everybody else came to the meeting. He tried to kill his sister and his girlfriend, and pretty dangerous in the treatment center, so we ended up there. And that guy, that big mafia guy, is just an amazing guy. I just love him and all your other people. So we have fun doing it. But this whole thing to me, folks, I've been doing this for 30 years, and Lee calls and she said, "Got a guy going to Hong Kong. Do you know anybody?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I got a doctor there, and his girlfriend is a therapist." I said, "By the way, I'm going to Hong Kong tomorrow." So I called the mother when I got to Hong Kong on my way to Bangkok, and worked with him, and it was great. But this is all about what we do together, and everything you do, and all of us do it together. Is find that hole and fill it. And what he found was another hole. What I found was a hole.
If you don't know Rick, you need to. That's all I got to say. He's the best.
Hey, John,
That's the tag.
anybody who's new here, you need to put Rick's number in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank
it's.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.